Today we'll have interactive class because we need to discuss the question answers. So we are here with the very first question. I have done something, oh God, I have done something real at last. Why does Andrew say this? What is the answer to this question?
Sharing.
And you will answer this question, unmute yourself and answer this question. Yes, Kirti Vardhan.
Ma'am, may I speak?
Yeah, sure, Kirti Vardhan.
Ma'am, as Andrew has just begun his medical practice as an assistant to Dr. Edward Page, and he has not done any real experiment yet. And he was also very distressed and upset from his beloved Christine from the evening he met her, and when he went to the Joe Morgan's place, he forgot all his upset feeling and used his every ounce of energy in that practical, and he done something real and first time practical by using his own medical knowledge.
Okay, good, Kirti Vardhan. Anyone else who wants to answer this question? Is there anyone else who wants to answer this question? No one? The thing is, I have done something. Oh God, I have done something real at last. Why does Andrew say this? What does it mean? In very simple words, if we say, in very simple words, it is the answer to this. If one needs to answer this question only in 25 to 30 words or 30 to 40 words, this question can be. First thing is how to answer the question. And this is really important what you need to answer. When you are supposed to answer in 25 to 30 word means question is of 2 marks, you should have a different answer. When you have to answer it in 30 to 40 words, the answer goes in different way. When you have to answer the same question as a long answer question, then the way goes differently. So it depends. Yeah, it shows your abilities, how you answer the question. And this is quite important. In single line, if I want to say the answer to this question, my simple answer, very simple answer to this question is that he saved the life of the mother as well as baby. That's why he said this sentence. My answer is complete. What does it mean? He saved the life of baby as well as mother. This is the reason he said that something real done at last. In one line, I have the answer to this question. Single line answer to this question. But if I need to answer the same thing in 2 lines, if I need to answer same thing for the 2 marks question, then I'll be saying that it was his first case, as Kirti Vardhan also explained, it was his first case, and he believed it to be very simple, but it doesn't prove to be simple. It was an arduous task for him to do. He had to work to save the life of the mother as well as the baby. So in this way, it can be answered. So the thing is how to answer the question. Here I have the answer to this question. This is the answer for all of you. The young doctor Andrew mentioned said this after he had done a commendable work. Commendable work, wonderful work. That is what was the work done by him, saving the life of both mother as well as the newly born baby. His exclamation is justified. The very first thing we said that the work was really commendable. What was the commendable work? To save the life of mother as well as newly born baby. His exclamation is justified. Why he was surprised, why he said so in this way, it is justified. Why it is justified means he was right to do this. Helping the middle-aged lady, helping the middle-aged lady to seem to be a prince. Cinch means a simple task. But the stillborn baby and the ebbing strength of Susan Morgan after the delivery turned the situation drastically. In the beginning, when he promised that everything would be all right, the things were so simple. It was a simple task. The thing was, he thought the things to be very simple, that there will be a delivery and the birth of the baby will be there. That was simple. CINCS, cinch means simple task, easy thing. But things turned drastically. Suddenly, अचानक से चीजें इतनी things इतनी बदल गई. The lady was almost pulseless. Andrew gave her an injection and worked severely to strengthen her heart. The major achievement for Andrew was to resuscitate the child. First, he laid the child on a blanket and began the special treatment. Special method of respiration. Then he tried the hot and cold water treatment, dripping the baby alternatively. He labored in vain and for half an hour. Now this is how he explained everything. He labored in vain, wastage for half an hour. He then made another last effort. He rubbed the child with a rough towel. He went on pressing and releasing baby's little chest with both his hands. At last, the baby responded. His chest heaved. Andrew redoubled the efforts. The child was gasping now. A bubble of mucus came from his tiny nostrils. The pale skin turned pink. His limbs became hard. Then came the child's cry. Andrew called upon God as witness of his act, which was no less than a miracle. It was not mere theoretical talk, but a practical achievement, something real and solid. Any doubt in this question? Yes, dear students, any doubt in this question? Are you there or not? Am I audible to all? Okay, who will answer the next question? Who will answer the next question? Will it be again Kirtivardhan? The next question is, there lies a great difference between textbook medicine and the word of practicing as the word of a practicing physician. There lies a great difference between the textbook medicine and the word of practicing physician. Again, difference between theory and practical. In simple language, there is a great difference between the theoretical knowledge and practical application of the things. This is the question we have to discuss here. This is the thought we have to discuss here. And here, the given question is quite important. This question shows Saksham, yes, very good, beta. I'll take your turn. One thing I want to say before you answer this question is very much important for everyone, dear students. The reason for saying this question important is there lies a great difference between textbook medicine and the word of a practicing physician. Discuss. When this question comes in exam, there is no reference to chapter, there is no clue about the chapter, no name of character has been given. You just need to answer this. This is the way the long question comes in your exam, and this is the way how you need to interpret that this question is related to which chapter. And this is very much important to understand the question, understand such questions. So this is the sample question we are getting in the back exercise. We have to understand such question, and we will be practicing such questions for future also. Yes, Saksham, carry on, beta.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta.
Am I audible?
Be a bit louder, Saksham. I'm unable to hear you. Yeah, carry on.
Yes, I totally agree with the statement because the textbook medicine only contain general signs and physical symptoms. It does not contain individual situation and emotional problems, but a practicing physician has to deal with the individual emotionally and as well as mentally.
Okay, good. Carry on, Saksham. Okay, nice, good. Anyone else who wants to answer this question? Yes, Kirtivardhan, go ahead.
Ma'am, as the medicines which are prescribed in the textbooks, these are used by the physicians. Now, one can become the successful doctor or anything, in any profession by just came to know about the theoretical knowledge. But a practical knowledge is more important for for a profession to come to this real world. And with limited resources at the command, the practicing physician exercise all his practical experience to control the damage and to minimize the state from further deterioration. The practical help comes as a boon.
Okay, good. Good, Kirtivardhan. Anyone else who wants to go for the same thing? Anyone else who wants to go for the same thing? Siddharth, you are not there? Okay, here we have the answer to this question. The answer is normally the medicine prescribed in the textbooks are used by the practicing physicians. A very simple statement. Normally, only the prescribed medicine prescribed in textbooks are used. Whosoever practices, why the learning is given to a doctor, why the medical schools are there. so that they can have some basic knowledge and can apply that knowledge to their real life. This is the purpose of schools to be there. So first thing, normally the medicine prescribed in the textbooks are used by the practicing physician. However, in extreme cases of emergency, the physicians experience resourcefulness. This word is quite important, resourcefulness. To use the available resources is called resourcefulness. Whatever is available with you, whatever knowledge, whatever things are available with you, if you are able to use them well, this is called resourcefulness. The physician's experience, his resourcefulness and practical approach become far more important than theoretical knowledge. Apart from theoretical knowledge, what else you require? Your experience, your resourcefulness, and your practical approach. Means this is the blend of these things. This is the mix of these things. How you when you use it in real life. For example, now we are taking the example. What are the examples? A victim of bomb injury, snake bite, or suffocation. These are some common examples we have taken. If such thing happen to when someone is bitten by a snake, so is it possible that you should take him to doctor? No, it's not possible. Why it's not possible? Until you take the patient to doctor, he would die. You won't get the treatment of him. If someone on road suffers from heart attack, what you're going to do? You cannot take him to doctor until you take him to doctor, the patient may die. So in these cases, what you need, this is the word, there is one more word used, first aid. First aid. So you have to give the patient first aid, only then you can help him to be cured well. And for that first aid, even the people like you and me are trained. So drowning, suffocation through drowning. Drowning means falling in water. Needs immediate help. The nearest available doctor may not have all the facilities needed for the case. One thing, the nearest available doctor may not have all the facilities needed for the case. Second thing, the patient can't survive to be taken to a good hospital and proper care. Two things. This is the reason we are calling them emergency, cases of emergency. First thing, the nearest available resource is not sufficient. Second thing, the patient cannot survive to be taken to the good hospital and to have proper care. So what to do in such situation? In such situation, first aid is a must. In such situation, first aid is a must to save patient's life. With limited resources at his command, the practicing physician exercises all his practical experience to control the damage to the minimum. He has to control the damage to the minimum and check the victim's state from further deterioration. A stitch in time does save 9 in such cases. The practical help comes as a boon. Now here, what else? What else? Apart from here today, this all we talked about today's situation. आज जो है मैं. But when we talk about the chapter, when we talk this situation in relation to the chapter, then the situation is completely different. Again, we have to explain Again, we have to add the things. What we have to add, that as in this as in the story, when we talked about many years back, it was not possible to have good clinics. The good clinics were not there, and the doctor had to be resourceful because he had to visit the patient house. There the things were not available as in the, and I explained the same thing while I was explaining the chapter also. The things were not available as the things we have today in hospitals. So he had to use the things available at the place, available at the house, and manage the thing accordingly. So this is how, this is important. There lies great difference between the textbook medicine and the word of practicing physician. What is the third question? Do you know any incident when someone has been brought back to life from the brink of death through medical help? Discuss medical procedure such as organ transplant and organ regeneration that are used to save human life. Do you remember? This question goes individually. This question goes with the experience of any of you, with the experience of any of you, and this may be different at your part. So I cannot give answer to this question. Reason being, it differs at your part. You may have a different experience, and I may have a different one. So the bringing back, when the person with the medical help, the person was brink means the person was about to die. He was about to die, but the life was saved. And moreover, you have to remember some important thing. Am I audible to all? Am I audible to all? Raise your hand if I'm audible to all. Okay, good. First thing, own experience. The very first thing, to answer such question, you should have your own experience. Problem, ma'am, I didn't have any such experience, then what to do? I have never seen anyone dying in my family or in my acquaintance, and his life was saved. Then what to do? This is the second problem. First thing, that you have experienced. Second thing, if you haven't experienced, what to do? You must have watched number of movies, number of serials, number of programs. From there, you can have a random example. From there, you can have a random example how the life is. At least the things which are seen, the videos or the movies which are seen, you can explain that, giving characterizing them with your own wish. Possible or not possible? Raise your hand. Is it possible or not possible? Tell that it was your experience. The person was some of your acquaintance, some of your known, and this is how the person was saved. How you experience that this can be possible. Give that example. So second thing is, first thing, if it is possible, the person wants to know the question, that examiner wants you to share your own experience. If you haven't experienced such thing, then give the example of what you saw in your life, what you heard about in your life. At least give words to that. When you have only two things, and even if you don't have, then go with such questions and try them. Listen to others, Try to listen to others. What can be possible? Some extra question I want you all to practice. The very first question is, who was Joe Morgan? Why had he been waiting? Why had he been waiting for Dr. Andrew mentioned? The very first question, who was Joe Morgan? Why had he been waiting for Dr. Andrew mentioned? The answer to this is there anyone who wants to answer this question? The question is very simple. Joe Morgan was a driller. Yes, Kirti Vardhan? I need to unmute you. Okay. Yeah.
When Joe Morgan was a burly driller, he was waiting for the Andrew, as he had been married nearly 20 years for his wife and were expecting their first child.
Right. Very good. Joe Morgan was a driller in Blenley, a mining town. We have given here two information that he was a driller and the place was a mining town. He was a big, strong and heavy middle-aged person. These are the things we have told here. Burly ka meaning, the meaning of word burly we have given here in detail. He was a big, strong, heavy plus middle-aged person. This is the way we have means we are working with synonyms and antonyms. We are working with synonyms and antonyms. So we have given a synonym to it. Whatever Kirti Vardhan said, we have given words to it. We have explained it in a separate way that he was a big, strong, heavy, middle-aged person. Joe and his wife, Susan, who had been married nearly 20 years. Now we explain who had been married nearly 20 years, were expecting their first child. Joe was waiting for the doctor to help Susan in the delivery of the child. So this is the very simple answer for the question. Now I have the second question for you. Where and why did Joe lead Andrew? Where and why did Joe lead Andrew? This is the second question. These are 2 marks, 2 or 3 marks question I have for you. So the motive to discuss this question in the class is, I got to know some of the students said that, ma'am, we are unable to frame the answers of the question. Even I'm not interested that you should write all the answers in your answer book, but I want you to first of all understand how to frame answers. First question is, where and why did Joe lead Andrew? Or I have written or after it because I have given you this question in 2 different ways. The other way to ask this question is, why did Joe leave the doctor outside his house? Why did Joe leave the doctor outside his house? Where did he carry him? To his house. Why did he carry him? For the delivery of the child. This is the simple answer to this question. And my next question is, why did he leave him outside the house? So the same thing, because this question cannot be answered in one word. The same thing we are answering here. But we are answering, Joe Morgan led Andrew to his house 12 Ballina Terrace. Very first thing, general thing, Joe Morgan led Andrew to his house 12 Ballina Terrace. His wife was about to deliver her first child after being married for nearly 20 years. Second thing, in brief, we told his wife was about to deliver her first child after being married for nearly 20 years. Joe was quite tensed. He refused, or he left the doctor outside the house. Here, he refused to go inside, or he left the doctor outside the house. Even his voice showed signs of strain. Even his voice showed signs of strain. So this is the answer to the question, and the question can be answered in any way. So the chapter is single. The idea of the chapter is single. If you are asked variety of questions, so you should know how to change your words, how to replace your word, how to mold your sentence. Sorry. How to mold your sentence to answer such questions. Is it agreed, everyone? So shall I expect if I share some questions with you today and you that I'll get answer tomorrow, we will be able to discuss those questions. I'll be giving you questions like this as I asked question number 1 and question number 2, the simple questions about the story. But I want your work, I want your efforts and active participation. Only then I can help you better. Will it be possible tomorrow? Yes, everyone. Will it be possible tomorrow? Again, the class will be for Saksham and Kirti Vardhan only. They will be answering. Other student will stand still, sit still in the class. I don't find participation of my student is in class. So make it sure tomorrow there should be participation of student. Okay, good. Fine. Today I'll share some questions with you. Those you have to answer, and we will discuss those questions tomorrow in the class. The motive of sharing questions with you so that you should be able to answer the question yourself. Right? You will get the list of questions today as a homework, and we will discuss that in the class tomorrow. Right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day, Vicha.